that the right person to ask about religion.
I don't know. I used to hate it a lot. I used to think it was responsible for people believing a lot of fucked up things. I've also always been jealous of people who found religion. People who could believe like the things that they do with that much fervor. Wonder what the world is really if like you can't believe in it to that extent. It's definitely like it's based on love and just like the notion that everybody should just like love one another and be open and accepting of one another. I think that constitutes a spiritual experience. I've sort of had some experiences like that. They were pretty freaky. They were pretty far out. So I feel repressed. But it's there. It's just waiting. I don't know if it's narcissistic to say Jesus, but a little bit Jesus. I remember I used to be really angry with Christianity until I had this one particular experience tripping on acid where I suddenly realized I am so fucking guilty. What if this guy, 2,000 years ago or so, just had this crazy experience, because everybody lived as though they were tripping back then. Everybody was like on some crazy shit. What if this guy just had this particular sensitivity towards everything going wrong in the world? All forms of like self-mutilation and all ascetic practices and the notion of overcoming the self by overcoming the body and overcoming the desires. Sometimes I try to engage in ascetic practices like that. But I don't know if I do it right, because mostly I do it because I'm mad at myself. What do I hold sacred? I hold sacred possibility. Yeah, that's it. Just the possibility that the future doesn't have to be like how things are today. We're all seeds that can blossom. I hold that notion sacred.
Like I grew up in a Christian family, so that's always been a big part of my life. So I know when I was like 15, I rejected Christianity for a while, and then I came back to it of my own accord. So I don't know, I never felt like growing up with it was definitely a big part of my life, and I'm not going to change that, but I think for some people that's not the way it goes. I have friends who are like atheist, agnostic, whatever, like I don't really care, but I mean, I have a lot of conflicting things, especially with like other things that are important in my life, like how the music I listen to is like not Christian, the way I look is not Christian. I think there's something very special about being voluntarily a servant for something, even if you can't actually like say who exactly you're serving, The closest spiritual experience I've had is probably just going to a concert, really. The idea of like pain, well not necessarily pain, but like sacrificing something, but then gaining a greater enjoyment from it. I think that's pretty much what spirituality is for me. Like you're giving up something earthly, like you're giving up it's like earthly discomfort for something than a greater experience, I guess. I think baptism is an interesting practice, the idea of like renewing. And it also kind of reminds me of like sacrifice, which I find very important, where it's just like I think it's really important to have something that you'd be willing to sacrifice yourself for. Like, I can't really imagine living without having that kind of conviction. Otherwise I just feel like what am I doing any of this for? Am I giving up? I think living is giving up my life, I'd like to say I'm a martyr, but I'm not.
Religion's a disease. Kids. Yeah, people are pretty sacred to me. Yeah, it's probably the most brilliant and the biggest, the largest scale of deception that's been going on since for as long as mankind can remember it. Personal spirituality. I would say music is my spirituality. I mean, it's everywhere. It's eating breakfast. That's a spirituality. Taking a good shit. That's also a spirituality. It definitely gives people something to do, and definitely, I don't think Christian morality is bad. I mean, it doesn't teach you to, steal, kill people. I mean, it teaches the exact opposite of what's sort of it's in alignment with what modern society deems as good behavior and good code of conduct. But what was the question again? Any claim that I make is bogus. It's not based on anything. It's based on my personal preference, I guess. But I don't care about it enough that I feel the need to assert that preference. I mean, I like Jesus. I love Jesus. I think we all have something in common with Jesus. I put on a song, and I have to be naked, and I put on music. I get naked. It's all there. You know what I mean? It's a ritual when I smoke. Self-cultivation. I'm a pastor's kid.